Today is International Day Against Violence Against Women and Girls. This day marks the start of the United Nations 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence, which runs until Human Rights Day on 10th of December. As humanitarians, we all have a role to play in ending gender-based violence. It is our collective responsibility, whether as a gender-based violence specialist working with women and girls, or as a humanitarian working in any setting. Each of us can and must play a role in addressing GBV before, during, and after an emergency. This year, the UN Secretary General's Unite by 2030 to End Violence Against Women campaign calls on all of us to join the End GBV Together campaign and focus on this responsibility. As the co-chair of the international organization's working group on the global call to action on protection from GBV in emergencies, IUM has significantly scaled up its commitments to mitigate, respond to, and prevent gender-based violence. I am pleased to note that we have become one of the leading agencies on mainstreaming GBV risk mitigation measures in humanitarian settings. Our interventions have been designed to reduce vulnerabilities to GBV at the onset of emergencies by building the capacity of field practitioners to identify, prevent, and mitigate GBV risks. For example, in Asia and the Pacific, we have trained field staff in different settings, such as Cox's Bazar and Indonesia, on how to link survivors to specialized GBV services in a safe and ethical manner. We have also been developing innovative tools to improve sectoral responses and coordination of service provision in response to identified risks. Such tools include IOM's Gender Inclusion and GBV Risk Mitigation Toolkit for WASH programming. Ensuring the participation of women and girls in decision-making has also been a key priority for IOM. For instance, we have ensured the participation of women in decision-making structures in refugee and displacement camps, including women and girls in consultations for assessment and project implementation. To address the impact of COVID-19 on women and girls, we have been training female and male community hygiene promoters on GBV mainstreaming to integrate messages on gender equality and GBV into hygiene promotion activities, including messages adapted to the COVID-19 context. Additionally, we have distributed supplies that specifically address women's and girls' needs. For example, solar lanterns they can use at night in camp settings, or dignity kits that include menstrual hygiene supplies. We stand firmly with our partners calling for an end to gender-based violence. I invite you to support this year's campaign by sharing your initiatives to end gender-based violence, and make sure you use the hashtags EndGBV Together and 16 Days. Together, we can end gender-based violence.